All right, so here we are. We're going to do the real unboxing. No cut straps, everything's real. And talk about how they look, how they act, how they perform. Very hopeful. These have been on order for a long time. From the makers of the other bike rack that people seem to like. Won't say their name. The thing we're going to talk about is this stealth hitch. Apparently on your 2021 or newer, maybe even 2020s, if you do not get a factory installed rack, you cannot get a hitch installed by BMW. So your route around that is stealth hitches. Even the BMW dealership mentioned this. I said I already knew about it, and that's the way I was going to go. So be the first time I'm actually hooking this thing up too. Okay, box number 2. I mean, this has got to be the add-on, because I got one add-on for the bike racks. I initially ordered bike racks for 4. However, because of the delay in manufacturing, and again, not their fault, they had delays in aluminum and everything else like everyone else did. So I had to purchase a roof rack to at least be able to carry one of my bikes around. I wasn't going to abandon them, but again, nicely packed. Super nice packing job. Again, FedEx guy was super impressed with the handles on the side to be able to pick it up. And of course, since it's aluminum, it's crazy lightweight compared to some of the racks I've had in the past. I'm no muscle man, and I can pick this up really very easily. So we'll just take this thing apart again and see what we got. Like the reflective on there, it's always nice. Some people may not. I do think that on the sides here they've got their name listed. At least on the big one here. But to me, I think they're doing themselves a little injustice, because that tag is certainly going to come off over time. And if they want to get some market representation, people are going to need to know who this is. But that's just my word. Yeah, so this is the add-on for the second bike. So we're going to start putting this on here. And again, we're going to use that stealth hitch, because this car did not come with a hitch, and I didn't know you really couldn't put an aftermarket one on at the dealership. So this is actually better probably than the dealership. You don't see a 2-inch plug coming out the back of it when you want to be super sporty. So when I ordered my stealth hitch, I bought the super duper package, meaning not just for hauling bikes, but I can actually tow with this also. Not that I'm towing a lot, don't give me grief, because I'm towing with a BMW X3. But I wanted to at least be able to grab a trailer or anything else that I wanted. And so this is for the just a receiver. Then we've got the whole ball hitch assembly kit in here also. And I got it with electrical. So here's the plug for that. We'll go on the underside and we'll take a quick look here. And I've got to install it, show you how it works and looks, because this is really a slick system. So really all you got to do is you'll put your key in there. You're going to turn it clockwise. Take your receiver that's going to take your 2-inch bike rack, or if you want to get a 1 1/4, you can do that too, or 1 1/2, and then just push in. Take the key, turn it, put the salt corrosion cap on, and presto, you've got yourself a nice hitch. All right, so let's see what we can do. Just to let you know, I have not read the directions yet. I guess I'm typical. I don't want to read directions until I have to. So most of this seems pretty obvious. It does have this little locking pin to help guide on how far in. It's a blue handle here. Let me grab this for you. Show you a little bit more. Blue handle here. This is obviously used to tighten so we get no slack and slop. I'm going to make an assumption that we do not want it to be facing down, and that we'll have it sitting kind of horizontal to the bar, and that is in there nice and tight. The only thing that's wiggling is my hitch or my rack itself. These pieces look like they rotate down. Yep, and you can see it snap in there. Watch the other one click and snap. Everything moves nice and easy. And this bar, I'm assuming, yep, raises up, and boom, we're locked in. Nice and tight. We've got some nice protective on here for right now. This will come off, obviously. This is done in manufacturing, I'm sure. And then we've got our pieces here. There's our release. I'm gonna put this back on. So like I said, here's our release. So it doesn't have the ratcheting like some systems have. It's more of a friction-esque type lock, which will work really well. Open that up all the way. Open that up all the way. And now I'm ready to figure out if this is the right size pin, or if I need to move my rollers down a little bit, and we'll fit the bike in there. So a couple quick pieces here for you, since it was out on the other. Here's where that latching, or kind of showing you where the pin drop is. Again, I'm assuming for the locking systems, and we'll talk about the locking systems here shortly, as soon as I can figure them out myself. But here's that bar, or that handle. All you gotta do is lift up on it. It locks nice in place, so you're not gonna get any of those ratchets that are gonna become loose or overworn and fall on you. Here's where our pin is to be able to lock this whole bar into place. And it's got 3 different attachments, or 3 different levels that you can have it. I'm assuming for transport, etc. Again, we'll read the directions in a minute, but we don't want to read directions quite yet. Let's just see if we can figure this out. Let's see if the engineers actually did something that all the consumers want, is to make it consumer proof, and the engineers think they know what they're doing, and they want to make it consumer proof as an engineer, but we're not engineers, are we? So you're probably asking yourself, why haven't you been out riding? Well, I moved from Minnesota to Arizona and just been putting things away. I have been riding a little bit. I have not rode this bike yet, my Cannondale, and mainly because that roof rack, I can't use a lefty without buying a whole bunch of other pieces to accommodate putting this on that roof rack. So I've been riding my other mountain bike instead. So I'm gonna show you one other little tool or tip that I got. So you can buy these anywhere on the internet. Many people make them. There's some really nice high-end ones that are little tiny, that you could even probably put in the back of your jersey pocket. But for me, this is just great. When I'm getting out there, I can make sure my tires are full. All it is a little battery operated. You can even use it as your you can even use it as a USB recharger on the back. It's got the little things there. This tucks in here real nice. You set what you want for how many pounds per square inch you want. I'm gonna set this as 35. I've got to use an adapter just because it's just got the simple Schrader valve on there. Anyways, hooked it up, says I'm at 7.5. I remember I had it at 35. I hit the button. And there it is. Just about a minute and 30 seconds, minute and 20 seconds. Went from 7 PSI to 35.5. Boom, done. Easy to carry. Put in your duffel bag, put in the back of your car. Don't have to screw around with the pumps. Pumps are great. Still like them. Obviously, you don't have to worry about battery charge. Did this one. This one says it's good for about 10 or so tires from 0 to 40 until you've got to recharge. All right, so my tires are finally pumped up. Again, I haven't ridden this bike since August, September of last year in Minnesota. First time I've used this style of bike rack, so don't critique me too hard on this. I've used some other bike racks, but not this style. Friends have got them, so I kind of know what the deal is, but we go from there. I'm going to assume the spools are set correctly just because of the size of my bike. Nice and easy, no clicks, no ratchets, nothing. You can see down here, that's moving. It's in there tight. You can see that tire is even compressed, and you saw I just had it 35, and that's it. I don't think it's going anywhere. Taking it out. So this one doesn't have the ratchets. It's just using the force, the downward force onto this bar here. So let's see how it is taking it up. I think if I just do this, it's going to be too tight. I think I'm going to have to grab here, pull a little bit. Yep, just pull a little bit, snap it. Good to go. Probably can't just wheel it off because this back tire is pinched down pretty tight. Maybe you could, I guess, but you should probably just pull that handle up and then let that piece come down, take your bike off. I'm gonna put the other accessory on that we did just a bit ago and see how it looks with two and how easy it is to put two bikes on and take this piece on and off, because that's always the hassle. Sometimes you only want the one bike, but other times you want the two, and most of those bikes, bike racks that you see are always set up for 2 or 3 or 4, so you're lugging all that extra, you're having to work around it. So that was one reason I like this idea, because it was very modular. And the other is this, the way that it holds the bikes. A lot of the bikes I've got, my triathlon bike, my fat bike, my road bike, it's just really difficult to have one bike carrier that can do all of them, just because the frame sizes, the way that they've got their down tubes, even if they have a down tube, if they have an up tube. So this was kind of the way that I wanted to go. All right, so got the other bike off. This is how it came in the box. So again, haven't read directions. Let's see if it's intuitive. There's, looks like a latch, or gonna tuck this under, that's gonna pop in. I'm gonna assume it's these two bars here. I think that's gonna be too close to the car. Spread the little wings like a Millennium Falcon. I don't know. I'm not a Star Wars guy, so don't correct me on that either. X-Wing, I don't know. Yep, that's it. It latches there, pops in. Down below, there's 2 little red knobs here. Let me grab the camera so I can show you, and I see what they're doing. Really a slick idea. So as I said, this hooked up underneath this bar. This one slid right underneath it. And then what they have, this is part of these additional rack. This just comes and slides, latches over the top. This one does the exact same thing. Just slide this, it's just on a nice little spring here, really easy, latches it in there. And then this is the lock that they've been talking about for a while. So how do you prevent someone from doing this? Well, you push that button in and that's it. And now they're not able to lift this rack up and off, not just because of these, but because of the lock. And that's what those keys were for. Oh, okay. And so I didn't even notice it. Here's my other lock for my other pin. That's what locks it in to the hitch. So I don't have to have a through pin with another lock. Ha, cool. All right, so let's get it set up and let's put 2 bikes on here again. For manufacturing, got pretty plastic on here, so the stuff doesn't get too scuffed up. We do the exact same thing. Load the 2. Remember, there's a couple different hitches or ways that you can have this rack sit, from access to get your stuff out all the way to loading. So here's my loading. We're going to read the instructions here in a second, see if I was doing this right. Again, read your instructions. That's what they're there for. I'm sure they've got great instructions. Let me grab my other bike here. Hey, grab my other bike. I don't have my tri-bike with me or my road bike. I will try my fat bike here in a second for you. So let's do this. Most of the time they suggest staggering them just so the bars don't get in the way, so that's what I'm going to do off the bat. Again, we'll read the directions in a second. This is the one that I've been riding out here. That's it. Got 2 bikes on here, nice and taken care of, and really a slick system. All the locks are integrated like we talked about, which is really nice. Just a nice looking system. Easy to take this other rack on or off, and it's so lightweight. I can even put it on. It's that lightweight, since I'm not using a pump anymore to get my arms strong. Yeah, very impressed. I'm gonna go biking this afternoon. We'll see how many questions I get about this bike rack when I'm at the local. Take this back rack off. I'm not gonna use it this afternoon, and I'll show you how easy, or we'll walk through it together because I haven't done it yet myself, but I'm just gonna make an assumption. Remember these red little, these anodized aluminum pins? We move those out from the spacers. Just like that. Here's our key system, like we talked about. Again, I haven't taken all my keys off of here, so it's kind of clumsy to work with all the extra keys I got. Wow, maybe there's more locks I don't even know about on here. Put it in there, turned it, I heard it pop. Take the key out, and now, because this little thing doesn't move up or down, but what happens is this pin, when you push that in, it's going to indent onto that top side. So locks are all out, everything's good. This should, yep, just like that, pop up. And just like I said, what happens is that little key pin, what it does is it pops into this hole. So it's a nice setup. No locks to lose, everything's integrated, really slick. I just think they really should have done a little better marketing on their racks. They've got such a nice rack that this sticker is going to come off. Should have maybe yeah, nicer sticker. Maybe even reflective. Colors are a little faded almost, it seems, but hey, I'm happy I have it. I wouldn't want to wait for a nicer sticker, but maybe for all their backers that started out, they send out some other stickers to throw on here so they can show their love. So how does this transport? Should be pretty easy. Here, there's this little blue bar. That'll fold your wings in, but that's more for storage. Otherwise, just grab this pin, figure it out. Remember, there's 3 positions. It's locked in position, and you're ready to go. They make a couple other accessories on here. They make a license plate frame kit. So I suppose if you've got the 4 of them and you want to have your license plate shown, you can do that. I think there's some other accessories. Let's take a look at the instructions, see if I did it right. Parts and unboxing, nice page. Thank you for purchasing. Oh, yeah. It's ready to use right out of the box, modular to install, accessories quick. We recommend you see the original shipping box and use as storage and transportation. Yeah, it's a nice box. Tell you what all the parts and pieces are here. Same thing, unboxing, installation, what everything does. Oh, they call this the captive pin post. That's the one that was all scratched up on me. I think it's just when they installed it, they weren't hanging onto the wrench tight enough, or they didn't wrap it with tape. Whatever. Talk about all the, yeah, okay, so I did that right. They don't want it in a down position, they want it in that side position. I locked that right. Wow. See, it is pretty intuitive. Maybe the engineers did do the right thing. racking position, standard carry, how to get into the vehicle, to tilt it if you need to open up your hatch. Well, same thing here, make sure your bar is closed. I did that. Here's the capacity for weights, depending on if you have a 2-inch or 1 1/4. Yep, how you move all the pins, all the cam levers. Oh, they call it a cam lever. I didn't have to adjust any of these spools, but apparently I called it a spool, and they call it a spool too. But make sure it's even. Installing the add-ons, trays. Yeah, we did everything right. Thank goodness. Oh, they also have a loading ramp you can purchase, and that's I think probably more for e-bikes, just because some of those e-bikes are 40 plus pounds. I did not buy one. There's that license plate bracket. Again, I knew you could buy one, but I didn't think I needed to, so I didn't. And then of course your warnings, all your legalese. Okay, like I said, I don't have my tri-bike and my road bike here, but I do have my fat bike here. So we'll give this a whirl. These are V, and they're the Snowshoe XL. So these are a 26 by 4.8, so almost a 5-inch tire on here. So let's see. I mean, visually it just looks like it's going to fit no problem. I don't know what they advertise to, but yeah, that fits just fine on this fat bike without a problem. And again, nice and tight, nothing's going away. So even for this fat bike with the V Snowshoe XLs 26 by 4.8 fits without a problem. Well, we made it. About 25 minutes, 20 miles. I think max speed on the road I hit was about 55, 56. Some bumpies, some turns. But yeah, everything looks like it's right here at the trailhead. So we'll go biking, and we'll see what we can do, and I'll let you know on the ride back. So here's video from the way home. Hit speeds anywhere between about 45 and 55 miles an hour. Thing is really rock solid in there. The little movement that you see is more the hitch than it is anything else. Great rack, not worried about it whatsoever. I'll do an update in about a month or so and let you know how things are going. If you want to know about the Stealth rack, the Stealth hitches, or the bike pump, I'll put some links in the descriptors below. Have fun and keep biking!